turds. Stained blanket, that's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning on this lovely Monday. It is approaching Christmas, and much of the gang is here. We have Mr. Paul Chatto. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm feeling already the brain flipping into holiday mode. I don't want to suddenly catch a cold, because that's what happens when the adrenaline stops flowing, right? And then you where'd that cold come from? It's because you've stopped working and you've
Yes, because you relaxed. You were like, okay, now I can relax. Now you can't get sick. Your body knows. Yeah, exactly. Also joining us is Chris Brawley, no longer suffering an identity conflict there. So yeah, I was confused if Tom had joined early, but no, it's Chris. How's it going?
Well, Tom is here in spirit, you see.
Yes,
he is. You're using his avatar.
I am the ghost of Happy Tom. I will be the joyful Tom today.
Yeah, sounds so wonderful.
Glad to be here. It's Monday. It's Christmas week.
Monday.
It's indeed, yeah. Tom had another appointment, so he may be here, but then again he may not, depending on how long his appointment lasts. But we're all here. We'll see who else joins over the course of the stream, and it's great to have you guys here. And it's also great to have all you guys watching out there in the chat. We have Barry the Music Man is here, Deepat Martin is here, Jill Powers, the River Daughter is here, Grim Silla is here, Corellian Rogue is here, Hyper Guyver is here. Many are swinging that wrench, and we are glad to have you all. We even have Kick the Ladder, who started us off with a super chat saying for $2, Bowfinger equals comedy masterpiece. Also, water is wet. Yeah, here are basically two true statements in one super chat. Water indeed is wet, and Bowfinger is a comedy masterpiece. There can be no disagreements about that. That's a masterpiece from the great Frank Oz, who is the person behind that movie ultimately. In addition to the geniuses of Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy all rolled into one. Can't recommend Bowfinger highly enough. Now, like, I'm not too big a fan of like movies and series where Hollywood gets really self-centered and thinks that the entire rest of the world cares about their craft just because they live it. It's kind of like how every like point of view character that Stephen King has is a writer, because that's what he knows, because he's a writer. But Bowfinger is a great exception to that rule, because it's such a great movie on Hollywood that's fun for people in Hollywood and even outside of Hollywood. So yeah, love me some Bowfinger. And Miller has seen another movie, namely Avatar Fire and Ash, and he says for 14 South African rounds, I watched Avatar last night, was sold out and great. Yeah, I like that movie too, other than it being way the F too long and it should have been a series. But yeah, no, not a bad movie.
Is he talking about the first Avatar or this Fire and
I
Ash?
think he's talking about the newer one, I should imagine, since they saw it last night. Now, he didn't specify that it was the new one, but I assume it must have been the newest one. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have specified that. Have any of you other gentlemen seen the most recent Avatar yet?
I have not. I am in the camp that has not seen it yet. Apparently, there were more people that didn't see it this time.
Yeah, we are about to get into that as we get to the box office. But since we talk about movies, I saw another movie yesterday that I really had very limited interest in seeing. I wasn't going to do much about it content-wise, so I didn't really need to see it. But then my daughter really wanted to take me to see it, so then I ended up seeing Wicked for Good yesterday.
Hmm.
Have you guys seen that one?
Nope.
Because I knew in advance that many of the women who liked the first Wicked, they weren't such big fans of this one. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
The second one.
Surprisingly, yeah, the second one. It's really good. To me, it's 10 times the movie of the first one. It was actually really, really clever. Great commentary on media distortion of charismatic leaders and lies being sold to the populace. I mean, it was a movie that was probably by complete accident incredibly based.
We were talking about trolls last week, Andre. Are you trolling us now?
No, actually, it's real. It's real.
Okay.
I
All right.
enjoyed the hell out of it for good.
You seem to be out on your own island on this one.
Probably I am, but you know what? I've been on the on my lone island before. This been known to happen. I'm sure I will be again. I do not care. So simple as that. I love that movie.
And we know on this channel that you will not be pilloried for having an opposing view.
And if I am, so be it.
It never happens.
It's your channel. We're not allowed to.
No, that's right. It's your show.
Oh yeah, indeed. But anyway, yeah, no, it was surprisingly good. It really was. I enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would. I was like, I'm just doing this for my daughter, but no, it was good. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I'm waiting for Anaconda.
It earned another $4 million over the weekend. I don't think
there
Anaconda,
you go.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's get into that right away, because it's Monday, and on Monday we do this thing called the box office, and this box office is brought to you by Mr. Paul Chato, who has the numbers ready, and as we can see, we have a number one.
Size it so people can see it.
Oh, it looks fantastic, Paul.
Looks great. It does look great indeed. So yeah, we have an unexpected number one in Avatar: Fire and Ash, grossing 88 million over the course of the weekend. Now, this is a very good numbers that most studios would sell their own mothers for, basically.
Oh, this is not good for this.
But for this particular movie, you can, of course, make the argument that this is not good. You can even say further, like you just did, that this is bad. Paul, want to elaborate further on that?
Oh, yeah. This has got to hit 150 million in North America to even have a hope of matching its previous movies. This is bad for North America. I mean, I'll oops, sorry. I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. If you see the international, that gets a lot better, but I still think this is low for this movie.
You are right. And I'm curious, this international box office, does this include China? Because I saw that the trades were bragging about how incredibly good the movie is doing in China, which really I think the trade should stop bragging about, because it doesn't mean anything. Now, granted, it means more to Disney because they literally sold their soul to China, but still, China, a box office dollar gross from China doesn't mean anything. Like, each dollar just translates to a few cents for the studio. So what if it does amazingly well in China? It doesn't really matter. It's everywhere else that matters more.
So maybe the bloom is off the James Cameron. You cannot discount James Cameron secret code, right? This should be double. This minimum, it should be double.
Well, you want it to be doubled just for comparison's sake. The last one, Water World, whatever it was called, Avatar Water.
Way of Water, The Way of Water.
It did 134 on its opening domestic. I'm just comparing domestic, right? That's the numbers I have in front of me. And the first one, way back in 2009, only did 77. What the trades are saying is that these movies tend to have long legs.
Right.
Long legs. So I will say that it did set one record, which we reported over at Bleeding Fool. It did set a franchise record and a James Cameron record. It is officially the lowest Rotten Tomato score movie directed by James Cameron ever. It's at 67%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good thing for Piranha 2, that Rotten Tomatoes
that's not ranked. Yeah, that's not in the rankings. No. So I don't know what that means long term, but 61 over on Metacritic. Way of Water still has a 76 as of this morning. And
do you know what its cinema score is? Exit score?
Ooh, good question. No, did not pull that information, but I could find that out.
That's usually a good.
Yeah.
But now
what I will say though is that
season though it's in the right time of year to stretch it out, right? People are.
It is absolutely, and here's the thing, because the saying is never bet against James Cameron or some variety thereof, and we can't disprove that just yet. I mean, so far this movie is having well, if you adjust for inflation and for ticket price hikes, this is the lowest attended Avatar opening weekend domestically ever. Yeah. So it's sold fewer tickets than the first movie, and the first movie kind of underperformed in its opening weekend.
That's correct.
But it really blew up in the months that followed, just like Titanic did 1 decade earlier. But now, this is the thing, that now it's gone back significantly. James Cameron, who obviously has seen early polls, has already indicated that the series might not continue. The audience are going to have to come out in droves in order to salvage this, because just looking at the budgets and everything, this is a very soft opening. Now, granted, the movie no doubt is going to have legs, but it needs to have really long and really strong legs to get to where this needs to be. And where it needs to be isn't just to break even relative to projections and expectations on this tentpole franchise. Pretty much the only thing that Disney has left is to earn enough to make another Avatar movie. That's what this thing kind of needs to do. Is it going to do that? We won't know for another month. We may be getting some kind of indication next weekend, maybe, but still, right now, I would say it's precarious just because of the incredibly slow start relative to Way of Water, which tells me that people weren't really all that into Way of Water. I mean, it opened really strong, but look at what happened right now. I mean, where's the Way of Water audience? Where's the people that went to see that in its opening weekend? Sure. They sat this one out. At least they delayed it. Then the question is, did they delay it by just a couple of weeks and they intend to watch it over the rest of December or January, in which case all is fine? But if they decide, we'll sit this out and catch it on streaming, then Avatar is in trouble, and Disney even more so.
What percentage of people avoided watching it because they went, 3.5 hours, I'm not going? Yeah. What percentage of people did they lose just because they found out ahead of time that it's a 3.5 hour movie?
Well, but
I'd say a significant amount, Paul. And to your earlier question, it scored an A. It has a cinema score.
Oh, okay. So that bodes well.
It does. I think it does. I think it's a better gauge or barometer for how poorly a movie's going to do, because I've always believed that if you went to a movie on opening night, you were jazzed about that project, and you're going to give it a higher grade than maybe you would if you had sat at home and watched it, right? That's just my belief, and it's a recreational belief. I've done no scientific readout of that. But
no, but I think it's a well-founded belief.
But I think if it's a B- or something like that, that usually means a lot worse, because people who were out there opening weekend and they're giving it B-, you're just trying to be charitable. So I'd say it probably scratched the itch of anybody that wanted more Avatar for sure. Will it I think another thing that goes against this versus the previous film is the previous film, there might have been some pent up desire to see it because it had been 13 years since the last movie. So there's sort of like this audience that's like, I don't know if they were clamoring for more Avatar, but it was more of an event. And now here we are a few years later with the next sequel, and Discussing Film this weekend was already out saying, here's when Avatar 4 is coming out. Even though Jim Cameron is out there saying, hey, look, you don't ask the woman who's in labor and just gave her, had her baby, when's her next baby, right? So he's still kind of hedging his bets, I think, for now. But I agree with both of you. I don't think this was the weekend that they wanted. Maybe if it had done 100 million opening weekend, it would obviously bode better. Any higher amount would have boded better than this.
I believe Return of the King was the same length as this movie.
Okay.
And I distinctly remember not caring how long that movie was going to be.
Yeah.
I think the director's cut was this long. Yes. I feel like Return of the King was like 45 minutes longer with the director's cut. And I think that would have reached the 3.
But in the theater, it was 3 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay. Sheesh.
Yeah, but no, that sounds about right. Yeah. And I agree. People at that time didn't care. There was not one person that didn't go to that movie because it was too long. However, there are two things to consider that. One is that it was the concluding chapter of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which was massive, and it was an event. It was the single biggest event at the time. I mean, you can argue that it was an event that was bigger than episode 1 was, because it was Lord of the Rings. Plus, and here's the other thing, that is now more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Since then, we have had social media. Since then, we've had doom scrolling, which means that since then, audience attention span has dropped down to the basement. So a 3-hour movie today is not the same thing as a 3-hour movie back then. I'm not saying there were 3-hour movies all the time, because there weren't, but people were more trained and accustomed to, now we're going in for this movie. And it's not like 3-hour is a problem or something bad that you have to fight. No, it's like, holy shit, we are getting this massive experience and we're getting it for 3 hours. I distinctly remember it was something positive, because you got more story than you normally got. You normally got, and people were even more excited about the extended versions, because that was the real movie, which was the full length. Whereas right now, because of social media and shrinking attention spans, something longer is good. I mean, Avatar today being more than 3 hours, I mean, that's comparable to The Lord of the Rings being billed as 5 hours in theaters. I think that's kind of like the comparison you have to go with there, just because of the changes in attention span in the 2 decades since that time. At least that's my theory.
One of the brilliant things about Lord of the Rings, which I don't think they've ever managed to duplicate, is that each movie was 1 year apart from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, did that ever build up excitement.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to wait a frickin' year for the next one. But I mean, it was long enough to make you to make it reachable, but also that much farther out that made you anxious and more eager to want the next, this next Christmas to come up. I mean, it was an amazing, it's never going to be duplicated. But
and also, you said it right there. It was cleverly mixed in with Christmas, which meant that by that time, you now had a 3-year Christmas tradition. Christmas was just Christmas. Christmas was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was for 3 years there.
it felt very Christmassy. I mean, you had Gandalf, who was a kind of Santa. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it was just the absolute right thing. It was a great, I mean, what a risk that was. No one knew whether it was going to work or not. Well, again, movies are luck.
Yeah.
Also, but Avatar, I think it probably would have made more sense that if this was the final chapter in Avatar. Yes. So I don't understand the greed of James Cameron to think that I'm just going to keep this Avatar thing going and keep making money. I mean, the fact that he needs more money, I don't think so.
I don't think it's greed.
Fine.
Yeah. I don't think it's greed so much as it is believing your own hype, and that he's seen himself blind on this world. And this is kind of like his Star Wars. This is his Star Trek. This is his Lord of the Rings.
True.
This is his mythology that you can go into. And he really wants to go into that because no one else is going to.
All right.
And so the only way that he can kind of like chart out Avatar and place it in history right next to Avatar, right next to Lord of the Rings, right next to Star Wars, because that's what it is. I mean, this is his epic set in a different world, in a different time, in a different place. I think that's really what it is about, that he wants his own thing like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's more a matter of his ego and his believing in his own hype. But I do think that in this particular case, since he wants to create so incredibly many installments, he would have been better served, and I know that he can do this since he's a great screenwriter, by making each movie shorter with a little bit more comprehensive narrative, just adjusting for the fact it's not the year 2000 anymore. He got away with a 3-hour movie with Titanic. He got away with it with the first Avatar. But now the sheen has worn off, and people are even fed up of 3D. Like, for instance, when I saw this movie in 3D, the 3D was fantastic. And ultimately, what it reminded me was, I'm done with 3D, and I have no need to see any more 3D movies. But this thing, without the 3D, really isn't all that special.
No. And I think what he's got is technology.
Yep.
And the world building is actually really thin in this. You cannot compare the world building to Star Wars or Lord of the Rings by any stretch of the imagination. It's an eco movie, and it's about the poor blue people.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all that this is about. There's really the idea that he's created different creature types and different topography. That's not world building. That's physically making a world, but his rules are very thin. Oh, the roots are connected, and then you've got these trees that talk to you, and I mean, we've seen almost all of these before. There's really much less world building than I think meets the eye.
And at the same time, there's a little bit too much, because the world building is being used as Deus ex machina. I mean, you have sometimes that, even in this newest Avatar movie, we're like, okay, here you now have a completely hopeless situation, and then the god in the machine, by way of being the world, Awa literally comes to the rescue. I mean, God comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
To me, that's James Cameron. You can do better than basically have them run completely out of hope and literally God have to come and change events to save us, to save our heroes, to live and fight another day when they eventually inevitably will lose.
Have you guys seen the debate online about the movie having cultural relevance, cultural significance? Like, that people say, we're kind of tired of these movies. Are there any super fans? Are there people wearing Avatar t-shirts and merchandise and buying the toys, like you might see for Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or the Marvel movies or anything like that, if they have any cultural relevance at all? And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I have seen this debate going on, and most people.
I've seen glimpses of it. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen bits. I mean, I've seen some links, like something has popped up in my X feed and stuff like that.
I
With
think
some
it is
people.
mostly confined to social media. Joe
That's
Russo.
what I'm thinking too. With some people vehemently defending that, no, like gets really emotional and agitated. Accusing others of being emotional and agitated to claim that there isn't any relevance, which I
the
honestly
joke
don't
that I
see.
made when Joe Russo was going on and on about how much money it's
Russo
made,
it was, yeah.
and then it's got a theme park ride, and I just posted the theme park ride for The Mummy and said cultural relevance of the Mummy franchise now confirmed. I think what kind of got missed on this weekend, though, or the surprise for me, not necessarily a surprise. I kind of predicted this on Thursday or Friday, last time on Friday on the show, that animated David, second place, beat out SpongeBob, beat The Housemaid.
You did. I
Yep.
did not see that coming, but hey, congrats to you. You nailed it.
I'm just impressed that it did so well, particularly since some people were trying to start an Angel Studios boycott over the Animal Farm barnyard blunder that it was having. Sometimes these boycotts obviously don't do much good. You and your handful of friends may all claim that they're not going to go see something, but I don't know what the significance of it is. I think what do you guys think, even though Cameron didn't do 88, it only did 88 million domestically? What do you think about the rest of the box office?
Yeah, let's get into that.
Should get to
David.
it. I'm
22 million for the animated David. Let's get into that one, because that one took me a little bit. I'm very happy for Angel Studios. It's just the kind of movie that is needed this day and age, I feel. Not a lot of information there, but yeah. To me, I don't know the details of the budget that went into making of it, or what Angel acquired it for, but knowing the levels where they usually operate, I cannot help but think that 22 million has to be a fairly good result, because they rarely pay as much as 22 million for movies.
It beat out Sound of Freedom. It's the biggest weekend for Angel Studios ever. So Angel Studios did that Sound of Freedom about the child trafficking.
They say that. Here's the funny thing: it was actually Fox Searchlight that did that movie. Disney sold it to them.
That's right.
For a pittance, and it became their biggest hits. And now this one might exceed it. That's what I mean. I don't know what they bought this one for, but it wasn't 22 million. Of that, I'm positive.
No, I'm trying to. I'm going to drill down and see what I can find. I know, though, that it's also had the biggest opening weekend of any faith-based animated movie. DreamWorks had that Prince of Egypt, which I think is just beautiful. I think it's a tremendous accomplishment when DreamWorks did that. I thought that was a great movie. The songs were fantastic. It was just well executed. It's very rewatchable. It did 14.5 million. Of course, that was 27 years ago, so I don't know if that's an apples to apples comparison. But last year, I think the previous, what was around Easter, they did the King of Kings that had Oscar Isaac playing Christ, and it opened at about the same as the Sound of Freedom for about 19.5 million. But this saw 22 million, so that's it's a record for not only Angel Studios but also for faith-based animation.
Well, you know what? I think there's a category of biblical tales that are now so ingrained that I don't consider them faith-based at all. Okay. Now, ironically, this is from the Jewish Bible.
Sure. I think you'll do better if you're doing.
This is not a Christian story per se. It's part of the Old Testament, right?
Yeah,
but
that's right.
along with Moses, Genesis. I mean, these are all part of
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of
Completely
Egypt.
out of the Old Testament. That's in Genesis.
It just shows you what great storytellers we are.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, even in the Bible, this is a great tale.
Yeah.
Like it's deserving of a movie. So I don't consider it faith-based. This is maybe more in the realm of Homer or something. That it's
Iliad. Sure.
The Iliad. I mean, so I'm going to offend an awful lot of people saying that this is a fictional story. There are many people who actually believe everything in the Bible is 100% true. There is that group. I've had discussions with them. So, but this is a great tale, as is the story of Moses and the Israelites coming out of Egypt, which never really happened. But it's a great story, and it makes for a good movie. There's lots of material there to work with, and apparently this is very faithful to the story.
I think you can say that. I believe every word of the Bible, just about, but I think that a lot of your audience is also faith-based, right? Because it's King David, and you've got this Amazon series that did very well, The House of David, and it's all pulled from the Holy Scripture, right? So, I mean, the stories are from a faith-centered text, a holy writ, if you will. But I agree with you. Some of the stories are fantastic, and this is getting into sort of the cryptozoology aspects of the Bible that talks about giants and things of that nature. So it's very cool, and I'm pleased for them. I thought that it would probably do worse. In the back of my mind, I guess, even though it wasn't my prediction, I think my prediction was really more hope-centric than scientifically oriented. But I was surprised that SpongeBob did not surpass it. As a matter of fact, Sydney Sweeney did better than SpongeBob this weekend, which was also a surprise. So
I'm not sure I was that surprised. Well, fine. I was a bit surprised that The Housemaid did as well as it did, which only goes to show that not Sydney Sweeney, but that other co-star whose name escapes me,
Amanda.
She who tried to tank the movie by promoting socialism and stuff.
I thought it was the Paul Feig faithful. You sure wasn't Paul Feig faithful viewers that were just going out to see his new movie?
I don't think that there's 19 million worth of them.
No, I don't either.
Even though that he has
mixed reviews on the movie
stuff
too. I haven't seen it. I'm going to wait for that to hit home streaming. But
lots of nudity.
There is ample Sydney Sweeney nudity. I did hear that. Yeah.
Well, that's going to help the box office. So
apparently, it is a full-on chick flick.
It's actually a series of books, house-made books. So this could turn into a Sydney Sweeney franchise. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. And but I think he needs a good movie. It's been a long time since that Jason Statham thing he did. Spy, I think it was called.
Oh, Spy was fantastic.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
So he can do really good. He just has to get back to it, and hopefully The Housemaid is him getting back to form. And then moving on from there, as you said, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. Honestly, I am surprised that it did better, or that the housekeeper did better than it. But I'm not surprised to see it underperform. You know why? Because most SpongeBob SquarePants movies for years now have been straight to Netflix. There's nothing special about them. It's just another thing in the SpongeBob pantheon. So now basically the total amount of viewable SpongeBob SquarePants hours went up from 1,000 hours to 1,002 hours. Like, big deal, big whoop. So I'm not surprised to see it only coming in at 16 million. If anything, I'm surprised that it did as much as that.
Yeah, I think it's run its course.
Evidently, it hasn't with these numbers.
Well, again, it depends on how much they spent on making it.
Yeah.
So if they knew what they were doing and they knew what the budget needed to be to produce it, then this is great.
Yeah, and considering that you basically have like a non-stop production pipeline for SpongeBob SquarePants, it has been going on for years and years now. I'd be shocked if this thing wasn't on track to be very profitable with the $16 million opening weekend. If it isn't, then there is some very, very considerable various administrative expenses involved, to put it that way. I mean, then they've included a ton of blow-in prostitutes into the production budget, because these are movies that were made for Netflix. And there's no higher quality or anything involved in this one than in those. So, yeah, then they found some way to inflate the budget if this thing isn't going to be profitable with that opening weekend. And moving on from there, at fifth we have Zootopia, which has dropped quite significantly, but still only a 44% drop in relative terms from.
Hold on 1 second. I just went just so I do a search on the previous SpongeBob SquarePants, because we are a scientific organization.
Indeed, we are.
The first movie did 32 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
The second movie did 55 million. Just so you know.
Yeah.
So and for those of you out there who really want to know, in Hungarian, SpongeBob SquarePants is Kocka no drag, which means SquarePants.
Yeah, no drag. We heard that one.
You guys were wondering about the budget. They spent 64 million making this SpongeBob movie.
Are you serious? How the hell did they manage that?
I am not.
That's what I mean. Significant administrative expenses, which means that then it actually is underperforming when you consider the budget of the previous ones. But again, this is what I mean. I don't know how many of these movies.
What? Pardon me?
Can you find the budget for David?
Yeah, I'll look that up. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how many of these movies were straight to Netflix now. And I think that has considerably cheapened the brand, that now it's more of a streaming thing. So I'm not surprised that it only did 16 million. I would have expected it to do even less. I am surprised that they spent 60 million making it.
Yeah.
Looks like about 54 million on the David.
Okay.
Excuse me. And
that's reasonable.
The thing about them, it's really hard to compare the way Angel does it, because with this movie, they also did that pay it forward, right? They did it with Sound of Freedom, where you can buy tickets for other people, and they crowdfund through their website too. So they crowdfunded like 49.7 million of the 54 or so that it cost to make. So they started with it already being a profit, nearly profitable from the get-go, right? It's kind of incredible how they do it. And you have a lot of independent creators in several fields sort of doing that. But 49 point something is what they raised, and it cost about 54.5 million to make.
But I didn't that what they raised crowdfunded is also purchasing the ticket, so you get to see the movie.
Yes,
or for part of the crowdfunding. So this is in theory on top of that.
That's right. Yeah, it is. The 22 million is on top of what all, because you had a bunch of people that just had free tickets to go. And, I think that probably also helps, because you get a crowd of people that says, we believe in this project, so we want to pay right now for a movie that hasn't even been made. Then when they're all going, they're excited. They've been getting these weekly updates about it, little clips, first to see the trailer. And then they say, hey, we're going to see that David movie. We're taking the kids to see David. Why don't you bring the little ones and come see it with us, right? Well, there's where your new tickets get sold. You're going with the people who got in for free, not really for free, but prepaid. It's an interesting model, and it works for them. It works for them. No, and they spent less than SpongeBob did, which shocks me, because that first SpongeBob movie, I think they only spent 30 million to make. I don't know how these movies keep getting more expensive, unless it's just tariffs, inflation, and poor money management.
Well, yeah. I mean,
something.
SpongeBob, I believe, asked for way more money. Like
He's getting out of hand.
yeah, he's just out of control.
Yes.
Patrick, he works for nothing, but that is because he's stupid.
That's true. I think SpongeBob takes his pay.
That's right. I'm taking the bigger pay. Yeah. Hey.
We need a live action SpongeBob movie. That's
what we need.
We've had live action segments in them for sure. So yeah, as well
with Richard with Stratham as SpongeBob.
Yeah, well, we already had like Antonio Banderas show up in one of them. So yeah,
wonderful. I think SpongeBob now he's had some cultural relevance though.
But that's past.
I agree. Yeah, we need to let that IP rest for a while.
I agree with you. So let's keep going.
Yep.
Indeed. Yeah. Then we have Zootopia coming in at 5th, collecting another 14 million, making its domestic total 282 million, and reaching 1.2 billion worldwide. So Disney are not sad about this at all. To them, this is just keeps on winning.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good on them. I've heard nothing but good things about the movie, and good for them.
Yep.
Now this Five Nights at Freddy's, oof. It's made its money back.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think the first one cost them 20 million to make, and it made a boatload of money. And the second one, this one cost 36 million to make. So
exactly. So I mean, this is just a win. Everything from this point onwards is pure gravy. So yeah,
it's funny too because the critics hate it. The critics hate this movie, and they're saying this is made specifically for fans of the game. And I'm like, okay, now you get
that's the audience.
You get
basically, what they're saying is, no, we don't like it because this is made specifically for the built-in audience. That's what you're supposed to do. It's budgeted for thereafter, and it's a massive hit for it. So that has to be the most insane criticism I've ever heard. Like, how dare they create this thing for the audience and profit immensely from it? That's really what they're saying, because that's what they did. They made it for the audience. The audience loved it, and the cash are just flowing in. Everyone wins.
Right, and they didn't spend any time trying to modern audience it. Like they didn't expand it into that mythical larger audience that we still have not been able to find.
Yeah, right. No, indeed. So yeah, let the trades bitch and moan however much they want. I assure you that Universal are laughing all the way to the bank over this one. And on the topic of Universal, Wicked for Good collected another 4 million, bringing the total for that movie up to 320 domestically. But boy, the international audience have let this movie down. Wow, it hasn't even hit 500 million worldwide. That, I have to say, is surprising. And to me, that tells me that the audience didn't really love the first one as much as, certainly internationally, didn't love the first one as much as people expected them to. As for me, I was very pleasantly surprised by Wicked for Good.
I'm glad it worked for you, Andre.
Yeah, well, clearly it didn't work for Universal. It hasn't even hit 500 million worldwide.
They already made more money than they should have on that movie. It should have been all in one film. They stretched it to 2. They made a boatload of money and made me totally sick of Ariana Grande. And
yeah, you know what would have made those movies better? No. Cut out the music.
Maybe so.
What?
Maybe so.
I mean, it certainly would have brought the running time under control.
For sure, yeah.
And the only worthwhile song in it is the one that Jeff Goldblum had about, like, basically manipulation in the media and what people actually like. So yeah, that was yeah. Do a fan edit, cut the songs, bring the whole thing under 2 hours. It'll be amazing.
I'm interested. I'm kind of interested in this one at the number 9 position, this Marty Supreme. It was only out in 6 theaters, so they're just sort of doing that, get an early.
Yeah, very limited release awards bait thing.
It's coming out this Christmas, actually. The full wide release is this Christmas, and it's 149 minutes. What is that? 2.5 hours, right? It's 2.5 hour long movie over on IMDb.
2 hours 20.
Yeah, it's only getting a 3 out of 10.
Wow, that's surprising.
But it's getting high scores from critics. So
now, how much a crush do these critics have on Chalamet?
Well, that's true. The problem for A24 is this movie, they spent more on this one than any other movie they've ever released.
Really?
Yeah, they spent something like around somewhere between 70 and 90 million.
Which means that they have a pretty crush on him as well.
Well, he does have a mustache in this movie.
He doesn't even look like himself, right?
No, he does have a stash. I don't know how long it took him to grow, but
oh boy. So he's at least out of puberty.
Apparently.
Okay. By all appearances, at least. So
it looks, the trailer looks interesting.
The film sounds interesting, honestly. I don't know if it's, a chess master might be also interesting to some people, but this is what, a ping pong champion, I think, or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I got all the ping pong and major motion picture for my taste in Forrest Gump. I don't know that I needed a full movie on the ping pong sport, but we'll see. We'll see how it does.
You're a ping pong phobic.
Well, that's true. I think I share that with most of humanity, honestly. I like the game, but I like the game like I like Uno. I don't want to see a movie about the game Uno.
Well, on behalf of Alan Ing, I'm just hoping there's Asians in it if it's about ping pong.
Well, now Timothy Chalamet, he now identifies as Asian in this movie, right?
Well, there you go. We're fine then.
Well, we're done. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you have a representation covered.
I was also thinking about Disney's abysmal showing for this Ella McKay in the 13th slot. That's a Disney release.
Yeah, it is.
And
I'm not familiar with the movie, but
the trailer is it's just totally forgettable. A girl grows up, wants to be in politics. She becomes the governor of her state. We again have oh gosh, I can't even think of her name now. She's in every movie known to man. Jamie Lee Curtis now is mother. Yeah, it's just frivolous, and but Disney was putting a lot of money behind it, at least initially in marketing. But I don't think the girl, the actress, the lead actress, has sort of the appeal, I think, that your Disney stars typically have. So Ella McKay. Would love to know if anyone in the chats had went to the theaters to see Ella McKay. I'd say there's very few of them.
Yeah, but you never do. And with that, we are officially done with the box office, and we have someone else joining us behind the scenes here, namely Paulie of Latino Dance Flame. How's it going?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año, Happy Hanukkah to all my Hebrews.
Last day.
Yeah, last Hanukkah, I gave you a menorah, but the very next day, they. Pretty good. Pretty good.
How many espressos have you had this morning, Paulie? Come on.
You know what? What's pretty funny? I took Alejandro to the airport, our buddy Alejandro to the airport, and so I had to be bright and early at his house at 6 a.m. So I had a McDonald's coffee. Whoa, boy.
High caliber.
Those things are strong, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
How's it going? What's happening, everybody?
Yeah, going good.
We just kind of went through the box office, Paulie. Do you think it was a good box office weekend overall?
I gotta look at it again. But you were right about David, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
The total volume of cash was $178 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
But rather than to relitigate the box office in total, there is one thing in particular that I wanted to address, and I'm very glad Paulie is here for that, because as we see in the title, we saw that the Avatar box office disappoints, which we've already covered, but certainly domestically, Avatar Fire and Ash was and will continue to be the venue where trailers for Avengers Doomsday to be attached. And the very first one, now the second one, is starting to be attached to certain movies somewhere. From what I understand, I don't know because I'm in Norway. We don't get any Avengers trailers, regardless. But you guys domestically, you get them. And I'm sure that Disney were expecting cheers and hurrahs in the audience as Chris Evans came back. But what I have heard from multiple sources, independently of each other, telling me, so this is from multiple theaters. Now, granted, it's not everywhere across the board, but I've received multiple reports from multiple different theaters all over America, that the response to Avengers Doomsday trailers in theaters has been a big blah. Like, people don't care. There's no audible gasps, cheers, applause, anything. Paulie, I would ask these other guys, but I know that they haven't seen Avatar, so they don't know. They haven't been in the theater to see the Avengers trailers either.
They don't know our pain.
Yeah, exactly. But you have.
Yes.
What would you say was the reaction in your audience to the Avengers trailers? And before you answer, just want to head with where you are. That should be the single most positive audience for this in the world.
Yeah, I was at the Burbank 16. That's the big one that a lot of people go to. And it was probably it was anticipated, and then when the initial frame came on, I don't know if it was like the Avengers or if it was I'm trying to remember that first shot, people were like, oh, and then the whole trailer played out and it was silent. So it was pretty lukewarm compared to the reactions to Project Hail Mary, which was fantastic, Digger, and Anaconda. Like, you heard a lot of vocal support on.
So basically, the audience were more enthusiastic about Jack Black's Anaconda remake or satire than they were Avengers Doomsday. Wow.
Big time. And there was also the Mando trailer. I'm trying to think what other trailers. They didn't have the Odyssey because we weren't at the 70mm screening. But yeah, every other trailer got huge response. In fact, I would say the Avengers trailer got the worst response.
Wow.
Yeah.
By worst, you mean least?
By least reaction, least gas. Man, this was a really good crowd. I think I told you guys Friday that crowd was really into the Avatar movie. So they were ready to go. And the trailers, they were excited about. I think Project Hail Mary. I loved that second trailer. Have you guys seen the new trailer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of spoiled the movie.
Oh, I don't know anything about
totally. Yeah, because now we know there is some other involvement other than let's just say Humanity,
Right.
Humanity
Yeah.
Inc. Yeah.
But it still looks good.
that.
It looks great.
It's like another Martian.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the reaction. And
so now these Marvel movies, though, that trailer was just the Steve Rogers is coming back, and it's sort of mysterious, right? It's more of a prelude to what we anticipate the big trailer is going to be. This is more of some sort of subdued teaser.
This
to
is
be
teasers.
fair.
Yeah, it's teasers for trailer, and there's going to be like 4 of them. And then presumably we'll be getting a real trailer. But I would imagine that there's going to be a mini narrative played out over the course of these mini teasers, which are like all individual character focused, and you are assumed to have seen all of those for the full trailer.
Sure.
Would be my best guess at any rate, because as I stated in the previous video where we covered this, Avengers Doomsday finds itself in the same position as Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, in that it's supposed to end a saga, but it has to redo it and give a new beginning to it because of mistakes in the previous installments. So there's a lot of setup here.
I think it's foolish for Marvel to even concern themselves with sticking to some kind of canon. I mean, the comic books themselves, the source material's all over the place. I mean,
they haven't done that for ages. I mean, the moment when they guarded decades worth of excellent source material to fast forward to the shittiest periods of Marvel comics ever, namely the Marvel Here and Now, or whatever it was called, that replaced everyone with diverse counterparts initiative that failed big time, and that they had to walk back from even in the comics, and they thought that was going to work on the big screen.
It was foolish for them to try to pin everything to that era. But, you know, Schrodinger's law still works on comic books too. 90% of them are just pure trash, disposable. But there are a few standouts, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I like the idea. I think it's a great Hail Mary for them, and I hope that you know, they put some more money in Disney's coffers, because I know they're hurting, and I really want Disney to do well.
Yeah,
I mean, they're see, that's funny, right? Because you say that, and they're about to hit the $2 billion in distribution. Like they're going to be the #1 distributor again this year. It's not Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And they're going to hit $2 billion in the next 10. The rest of the remaining Avatar will help it get over that. So
for sure,
it's like it's weird, because it's like, you know, it's like it's I guess it's their worst year. I don't feel sorry for them. $2 billion, Jesus.
I don't know. Lilo and Stitch, another big winner for them this year, right?
Did they have Minecraft? Was that theirs, or was that Warner Brothers?
I think Minecraft. I think they are. That is Warner Brothers. Of course, Tron 3. Wow, what a juggernaut!
This is the huge problem going forward in the business. Is now Hollywood is basically going to be 3 studios. Then it's going to be 2. This is really scary, guys, for anything but IPs, anything but big names that, you know, that are in films. For regular movies, you know, that that Hollywood used to champion and put out there, they're just going to go more and more the independent route, and you're not going to. Good luck if you know, even know that they came. You know, this is not good for film in general.
No. Maybe studios are going to start having to follow the same crowdfunding model that Angel is doing for some of these movies. I don't know.
Well, Angel's a distributor. They don't produce films.
They still crowdfund these projects, though. Some of them.
No, they don't produce movies.
Well, what are they raising funds for?
Haven't they raised funds? I think they maybe raise funds for, you know, to get people to go.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like basically to buy them. Like they don't make them themselves, is what Paulie is saying.
Acquire
them. It's like they acquire them, exactly.
Yeah.
They acquire them. Yeah.
They acquire them. Like, and so, you know, who's ever acquiring them has good taste. You know, they're, you know,
no, but I'm saying, can't the production establishment, you know, the production studios, production houses, they could do the same thing. They could do crowdfunding to get their movies made.
Okay, so a lot of people already do that. It's just incredible. See, it's just really difficult then to get it marketed. You know, that I've talked to a couple of people who've had $1 million movies come out, literally $1 million or a $2 million movie. That is, you know, insanely low budget nowadays, and people, their investors have been pulling out as far as marketing, just because of the economy. You know, so you have that to you know, there's so much. So it's just like the big three, you know, those big guys are just getting bigger. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. It's scary.
I mean, it's good that what Angel Studios is doing. And again, even if this audience can go and watch movies on Tubi, that helps the filmmakers. The new movies that come out in Tubi, that really helps the filmmakers, and they do see money, but they see you know, the numbers as far as who gets to watch them. They don't get a cut, hardly a cut, if they sell their movie to Netflix. They just get the exposure.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like all of the indies and all of the passion is being squeezed out of an increasingly corporatized film industry. Kind of seems to be like what happens with the streamers taking over. So yeah, very scary development.
If one of the studios started using crowdfunding, they would be laughed out of the
Yeah,
business.
that's true.
Yeah, but it's always that first big one that's like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, what's Robert Rodriguez doing? You know, like, that's kind of weird. Why are you asking for money? But I'm like, that's smart,
If
man.
he does it,
He just started it. No, he just started.
Yeah, no. Okay. Oh no, but I would support that.
Yeah, no, people have.
Yeah.
People have, and it's going to fund a few.
Because people supporting artists. Now, the trick with crowdfunding is that you have to have a really good record of actually delivering on time.
Yep.
The biggest failing of crowdfunding is the number of people who don't deliver the goods.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference between the track record of Rodriguez and one of, you know,
that's why
of Zeppi Rodriguez. You know, you're not going to.
Well, Rodriguez he's built a name for himself, right? So there's
Right.
already some cachet there with the name. But to your point, Paul, you're absolutely right. Even a big name like you know, your guy who created Deadpool, Rob Liefeld. He has a crowd fund over on Kickstarter from 12 years ago that he never fulfilled.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, of course it is. And he in his response, if anyone asks him on social media about it, is to block that person who asked. I don't know what happened. And I think what the danger, and I'm in this crowdfunding space with graphic novels myself, and I think what happens is you have creatives who don't know anything about business. And so suddenly big chunks of money hit the bank account, and it feels like, oh, well, part of this I can use as a paycheck, rather than immediately spending the money wisely, tracking when it's supposed to come out, and on and on and on. There's so many logistics to these things that I think it can get overwhelming for creators.
Well, half the things I've crowdfunded have not come to fruition.
Yeah.
And about 50% that have been crappy.
That's the other problem. I'm sorry, Paulie, go ahead.
No, we have to differentiate how we crowdfund, like, let's say, between us and the biggest channels out there, and how a production company would crowdfund. You know, you guys do we do the weekend box office, which is great. Those numbers are provided by the studios. So that's why you don't see, maybe, you know, or like you'll see maybe an independent film where the numbers aren't in, or it's in a day later. You got to pay someone to do those, to get those, to track the numbers for you. You have to pay someone to do that. So if it's an added cost that they can't afford, they ain't gonna do it.
That's right.
You know, so, but Neon, A24, you know, obviously they got budgets for that. But I'm just reminding you guys, you know, because Marnie Supreme is not an independent film. You know, they're rolling it out like an art house, which is really smart. You know, which they actually should have done for the Smashing Machine. If they wanted to make money, they still got the award nominations for the actors, but they rolled it out like it was like the next Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
There's so much to it, and you got to determine what's your ROI on even bothering to report the numbers on your independent film, right? But if you do and it does well, then all these shows and trades are suddenly saying, now, where did this dark horse movie come from? And you sort of get a little maybe brand recognition. You get some signal boost out of it just because you went the extra mile to report your numbers.
You know what's interesting? Sorry, go ahead.
No, really fast, Chato. That's why Tubi is so good, because it does those numbers for the filmmaker. They have the quarterly reports. Then they'll take, let's say those reports are good. They got to be good. Then that's how you go back to investors and say, look, I did better than my last movie. Yeah. Let's go. I wanted 2 million. Now I want 4 million. And that's, you gotta have results. You gotta have results.
I saw a video of a kind of Rob Corman. What's
Roger
Corman kind of director who really takes a Roger Corman approach, and he said, if I can get my movies under $100,000, I will make money on every single one I put on Tubi. And he's kind of in the horror space.
I've seen this guy,
and he goes at it very logically, very business-like, and you go, yeah, why? That's kind of neat, and that only increases Tubi's, landscape. Also, one thing, I just did a search, and is there an Entertainment Tonight kind of single entity on YouTube covering the latest crowdsourced movies? And there isn't, which I think is fascinating. So there's an opportunity for someone.
Maybe, yeah.
So for that channel to pop, you need a researcher, you need someone with connections, someone to put in a. No, I think it's a great idea. It's just like, all right, that actual channel has to do some legwork. They can't just look at Twitter and react.
No. It can't be a reaction channel. It's got to be. Here are the movies that have just popped up. These are the people who are trying to get this thing going. What is their background? What is the quality of their previous work? Have they been able to successfully crowdfund? This is the movie. This is its title. This is its log line.
Or even go to hey, we're gonna break down Robert Rodriguez's new company. Here's what they do. Kind of like what you're saying.
Interview.
That'd be great.
Interview him. Yeah, I think an interview and let them join the discussion about other projects on the horizon.
It seems to me that would be a phenomenal channel to put on YouTube. And the fact that it doesn't exist, there is a Kickstarter-ish channel that covers the shitty little documentaries and things like that. I mean, I don't care about crowdfunded documentaries. I care about crowdfunded creative.
Cancel that documentary about Paul Chato. Thank you.
The 3-minute documentary.
Yeah, gentlemen, let's move on with a couple of super chats here.
Please.
The audience has been waiting patiently. Hypergiver says for $5, looks like all the Snyder Bros have moved on to glazing Nolan's The Odyssey. Between the cast, the modern-looking armor, and the Viking ship, it looks shit. So yeah, Hypergiver, of course, he is very, very, very well versed in history and stuff like that, and is qualified to make that assessment. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that is going to be received by the audience. It's been a very long time since we had an Odyssey adaptation, so let's see how that one holds up. But in terms of accuracy, they're very clearly going in a different direction, let us say.
I am very concerned about Nolan's track record.
Well, it has been mixed. I mean it has been mixed.
Nolan's one of the greatest directors of the last 25 years.
Yeah, I know, but he has not everything is a winner.
True. I mean, there's Tenet, which wasn't very good.
Okay, there's Tenet. That's one.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That was a big one. Yeah.
Andre is so funny.
But yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see to check out Odyssey.
Hoping for the best. Fingers crossed with that.
It will probably be good.
I think so too. And then we just have to share the screen here, because the next is a comment on some recent news that we got just a couple of days ago. It was officially announced to the world. Here presented by That Park Place. James Gunn confirms Lars Eidinger cast as Brainiac in the DCU's Man of Tomorrow. So here then we officially have our Brainiac, who is now part of proceedings, and it was to this news that Soul Nightmare says for $10 he may not be big outside Germany, but after seeing some clips of Lars Eidinger, I can't wait to see his Brainiac. If Gunn writes Brainiac like he did High Evolutionary, he is going to be great. And I can say myself, I'm not familiar with Lars Eidinger's work. I cannot make that lie and say that I am, but I will say that James Gunn very seldom has gone wrong with the casting, kind of like Nolan has with movies. But of course, just like Nolan has Tenet, you also have the odd James Gunn misfire, although it is very odd. So, are you guys excited for Lars Eidinger as Brainiac?
He's my favorite actor.
I've never heard of him.
No. Although High Evolutionary, I thought was a shockingly good villain and well thought out villain, an articulate villain. I thought he was really good.
And fantastically acted as well. And perfectly cast.
Brilliantly. Oh my gosh. The acting for that was great.
I don't know this gentleman's work at all, but just from this photo that I see, it looks like he works at a record store, an outdated record store. Very schleppy. I hope he's a better actor than the look there.
Schleppy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah, no. Again, I don't know him, but I know that 9 times out of 10, James Gunn knocks it out of the park when it comes to casting. There's a lot of talent in Europe, and you do not want to dismiss them just because they look weird, because they can.
I think we're in Bizarro.
They can look schleppy and they can look pretty amazing depending on what you do with them.
Yeah, I think we're in Bizarro Midnight's Edge today, guys. With Andre loving. Well, I was driving back from the airport listening to you. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say?
Did you see Wicked Part 2 yourself?
Now I got to see it. Now I'm like,
but this guy's going to be covered with prosthetics and things. We won't even see his face.
Yeah.
Well, then the other Bizarro part is Andre praising James Gunn's casting and not praising Christopher Nolan. I'm like, okay, guy.
I do praise him, but
my test my test is, can this guy play a trans coal miner?
Probably.
I hope so, but I think that box has been ticked.
Damn.
Yeah,
because I love the category.
There's a hot new movie made just for you, my friend. It's out there.
Yeah. Limited audience appeal, but hey, what's niche if not fun? Yeah. And then Miller says 14 South African rands. Disney didn't market this international. Which one? Avatar. Yeah. No. Well, that's going to depend from territory to territory. They market the hell out of it in Norway and in Spain, and certainly many places in Europe. But I don't know all over the world. I'm sure they were selective in where they decided to focus their resources, as they always are. And the Septic Tank says, has been a member for 24 months, saying, dislike beating dead horses, though entertaining. Elephants may be a lack of marketing, the value of gathering at public spaces. A bad movie or batch of those doesn't help ailing theaters. Hashtag more social. Yeah, there's many things that come together and they're not doing theaters any favor, that's for sure, which also adds into the overall woes of Hollywood here. And then J.F. Tremblay says for $6 Canadian dollars 99, I'm more excited about Varanasi, directed by S.S. Rajamouli, director of RRR, than any American releases in 2026. RRR broke my brain. F Hollywood. Yeah, that was a very cool movie. Very cool movie. So yeah, hopefully his Varanasi will be able to deliver to the fans in the same ways. Fingers crossed for that. And then
really fast about that, you know, the teaser parade they had for the movie broke all internet records, as you can imagine. And that teaser reveal, Andre, was streamed here in the States by Variety. So it shows you that they're really paying attention to SS next movie. And then the Dukhrandir, which is still in the top 10. Yep. That's a badass movie, guys. Part 2 is coming out in March. Hollywood doesn't make these films anymore. And it's a travesty, because you literally watch these films. You're like, oh yeah, we used to flex like that. What happened?
There's the funny thing. You also have like the same thing with the Finnish movie Sisu. I mean, it has some of that same energy, right?
Yep.
So, but now you have the rest of the world that learned this from Hollywood, and now they're doing it better.
Yeah, Hollywood doesn't make movies like Crank anymore or anything like that. That's
what I mean. That was the teacher, and now someone else has become the master.
Yep. Varanasi comes out in January, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's January of next year of 26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's the only January I'm talking.
No,
you mean 27?
27.
Oh, okay. So it's a year away. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like the teaser of teasers.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
teaser for the trailer.
I was just like, why is it so far away? Because this guy's a great director, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, these things take time to make. And two Penny Puppet says for $5. Andre, on Saturday I watched Wicked 1, and then on Sunday I went and watched Wicked 2. I wasn't prepared on how sad the story turned out to be. Thought it was great. Yeah, to be clear, I only enjoyed Wicked 2. Part 1, not for me, but wow, Part 2, that was pretty decent.
Could you just skip Part 1 and watch Part 2 and enjoy it?
Probably not. No.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's ripe for fan editing.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, cut out the music.
One without music. Right, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Andre of Midnight's Edge, your wicked expert.
Your assignment has been issued. Fandom.
Amazing.
No.
Forget my nerdy home. Go to Andre.
Of course, you do have to keep the song from the wizard himself, though, in Part 2. That was good. That was very important for why the movie is good.
Song was fabulous.
Yeah,
I want to watch.
Actually, it isn't. It isn't fabulous. That's the whole point. It's very subdued.
I'm kind of interested, honestly, in how you broke it down. Now I'm like, okay, now I got to see it because I want to see if that's there.
Yeah. No,
I like his take.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't make stuff like this up. And Joe Pat 87 says for $5 for Chato. Let me shout out A Cosmic Christmas, the underrated Canadian cartoon special. George Lucas saw it, and it got the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's Nelvana. It's a Nelvana. Went back in the days when Nelvana was doing some adventurous things. It's great, and so is Rock and Rule.
Oh yeah,
very underrated movie that blew up Nelvana.
It's Bluth, right?
No, that's Nelvana. Sorry, which is my brain's gone. No one cares.
We knew
I'm
that.
trying to think myself, because I think there's like two different things there: Rock and Rule, and I think I know what you mean there.
Cosmic Christmas, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Chato.
It's a Canadian thing.
Rule. It's Rock and Rule is the Nelvana opus with Deborah Harry, starring Deborah Harry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's really, and they blew a ton of money making it, hoping it would be their Snow White, but it almost bankrupted the company.
It's the one with
Disney Snow White was hoping it was going to be their Snow White.
I'm talking about the first one there, Paulie, not that.
Yeah.
Not with the
no one wishes to be the Ziegler Snow White. If we do it right, we can be the Ziegler Snow White.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, indeed. And then Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says for $2. Good day, all. Indeed. And with that, we are actually caught up with everything. I would like to check the Green Machine, but we are sadly not streaming on the Green Machine today. We will again very soon. We just have some tech issues that need resolving. I haven't had the time to do that yet, but when we do, we will be back again on Rumble as well. Meanwhile, Polly, what have you got going on, and what should people check out?
Oh, in a couple hours, we're having our Christmas stream.
Oh,
so
very cool.
We're gonna have buddies coming over. Hopefully, some of these lovely people can join us. We're gonna do Christmas charades. We're gonna be playing for gifts. So how would like Chado would play for someone in the audience, like Davina Duckworth, and I would do a charade. You try to guess it. First word sounds like cock. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that? Sorry. Oh my god, too much coffee. No, there won't be dirty charades, guys. Apologize. Then we're gonna have a live musician. I can't believe I just said that. Wow. We're gonna have live music. Come on over. 11 a.m. I just embarrassed myself. Oh my god.
Well, better here than during the stream itself proper.
Happened.
So yeah.
11 a.m. You guys didn't hear that. Take the.
He'll cut it out.
And I didn't even have
he'll
this
edit that
hat
out
on.
for sure. Yeah.
I didn't even have this hat on.
Yeah. And Chris, what you got going on?
Lots of work in front of me. We've got some stories that are cooking. And Mike's talking about over on Bleeding Fool about the nostalgia bait of Avengers Doomsday and Avatar 3s. We got the full story on that record-breaking Rotten Tomatoes score. And decent review for Sydney Sweeney's new movie. So check that out. And, I've got a super clean joke. After Paul and Paulie, I'm going to come in with a clean joke. And you can use this. You can steal it. It's been out there. You've probably heard it. But what is orange and sounds like a parrot?
Squawk.
A carrot. Sounds like a parrot. There you go.
Very good.
Enjoy, gentlemen. I've had a good time with you today. Sorry we missed out on Tom. I hope his STD examination went well. Was I supposed to not mention that? I'm kidding. We love you, Tom.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find out in due time.
Wait, he's calling me right now. Sorry, guys, I gotta take this.
I will be gone for the rest of the next couple of weeks. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays to everyone in the chat. That's why I wanted to make sure I jumped on today.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Everyone needs some time off.
Yeah,
everyone needs a time.
And we got before Paul does his outro, we got a couple of more super chats here. Jason Webster says, "Well, Wicked for Good has well and truly stalled at the box office with only 484 million globally so far." Yes, indeed, it has. It stalled completely. We did address this earlier when we were discussing the box office.
Andre's trying to boost those numbers a little bit today.
Yeah, I should have seen it earlier when it still mattered, but I saw it.
He's the point two.
So yeah,
he's the point two.
And Jason Webster says for $5 Merry Christmas on Thursday, Andre, Paul, Paulie, and Chris. Well, thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you,
also,
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, indeed. But getting back to where we were, Paul. Where can people find you, and what should people be checking out?
Oh, well, you can find me at Call Me Chado and Appalling News, and I'm going to be writing my next TV guide, 1990, over the holidays, casually, but really I'm going to take a mental break. I've done a ton of writing all year, and it's been wonderful, and I have a great group of followers on my channel who don't just complain but add to the comedy. So it's one of the fun parts of my channels. I'm very blessed with having, as you guys do too, really good bunch of subscribers, and that's fun. So yeah, so I've got so much Appalling News in like my list of stories is like,
it's just appalling.
Is appalling. So
yeah,
if I get to them, I will, but the most important thing for everybody is to recharge because this stupid business on YouTube is like 52 weeks a year. It's absolutely nuts. So we do need to take some mental time off.
Congrats on that Katzenberg video blowing up.
Wow.
Wow.
Of all things.
Yeah.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, you never know.
111,000 views.
What?
Impressive, buddy.
Yeah. It's kind of a very academic dissertation on his memo.
Yeah.
And
that one.
Yeah, people went nuts over it. It's great.
Amazing.
And that was my suggestion.
A couple of weeks old. It's worth watching. No, it's evergreen too.
Yeah. It's Chris Gore said, "Here, Paul, we just did this cursory thing with Alan. Can you do a deep dive on it?" And he sent me the memo. I was happy to do it. It was very nice of Chris to suggest that they weren't in any position or interest to really dive through 30 pages worth of memo, but I was.
Well, I saw your Oscar one.
Yes.
Which I love. I haven't seen the Zucker or the Katzenberg. 111,000 views.
Yeah, that's good for me.
It was a nice follow-up to your, I think you hit 75K on the Variety.
Yeah.
Well done.
I wish I could keep that going.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm happy when I hit 1,000 on a video. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of work, guys. So
it is a lot of work. And I really respect what you guys are doing. Anyway, so that's it for me. And I don't know whether I'll you keep inviting me, Andre, and I'll see whether I can make it. But this is an important time for me to recharge.
Absolutely. I understand. All right. With that, we had one final super chat that's been on the screen. Barry the Music Man says, Paulie's still rocking the gay caballero. But it's very cheerful. So I approve. Yeah, that's what.
Gracias, Barry the Music Man.
Indeed.
Muchísimas gracias.
And with that, we should be back again on Wednesday here for the Christmas stream. And,
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, indeed.
Great.
Which is proper Christmas in
Norway
and Hungary.
In Norway, at least.
And Hungary.
And Hungary, yeah, like it's Christmas Day, that's just a day off. But yeah, Christmas Eve is what matters, where I'm from and where Chateau hails from. Yeah. But with that, everyone, thanks for joining. Check out all of these gentlemen. Take care of yourself. And with that, we're gonna bring out the koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain.